Mic and music, check 1, 2, 3, 4. Mic and music, check 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3. Is my mic on? Can anyone hear me? Can anyone hear the music? Thank you, Asphaltia. Much appreciated. I'll be right back. Okay, we're gonna do one last sound check, make sure everything's coming through. Music, my voice, all good. Hello? Okay, there we go. My camera and my mic just deactivated on stream start. I don't know what just happened. That was very strange. Hey, there we go. We're back. Sorry about that, everyone. Right as soon as I, changed to this scene, it just, they crashed. But we're good. Sorry about the, minor technical hiccup. How is everyone doing today on this lovely Mapmaker Monday? Hope you had an amazing weekend, I guess we should say, weekend. And for those of you that tuned in on Saturday for the reveal of magic, I hope you enjoyed the magic reveal. Stacey, are you hearing me all right, bud? I want to make sure I'm coming through right now. Test. Test. Perfect. Okay. Wanted to make sure I wasn't shouting out into the void. Hey Kaiser, how you doing? Perfect. Good to hear it, YouTube. Thank you, Alex. Much appreciated. Hi. The lovely Mrs. Mac just topped off my coffee. So, sorry for us kind of getting a little struggle bus on the start of the stream here. So, for those just tuning in, today is Mapmaker Monday. Every Monday, I host a stream where I show you building tips and tricks in a live build. The theme of this build is a wizard tower with a sewer escape. So we have a little sewer escape hatch here in the back, which we're going to link up eventually. And then we have the wizard's tower, which this is actually something that anyone here in the stream can build. Nothing I am building is in the future update. This is all stuff that's available either stock in Dungeon Alchemist or is available on the Steam Workshop. So like this rounded wood platform, for instance, is the second floor and whatnot. So I've started crafting multiple floors using these lovely second floor cutouts that Swedish Cook shared on the workshop. So as you can see here, we've got a bottom floor with like a kitchen and kind of food storage area. And then the second floor. We also kind of developed out the outer area here. You got a lovely little garden for his various herbs and food stores, an outhouse, a well. I was kind of deciding what to do with this space. I was thinking of doing like a shed or something with storage. I'm open to suggestions. If anyone wants to make any suggestions or has any feedback for the build, let me know. We had just started on focusing on filling up this second floor before we wrapped up last stream. We were kind of getting used to how the space would function. But it looks like there's a little bit of space under the stair that I want to utilize right there, right? Around the staircase, I kind of want it clear to be navigable. But otherwise, I feel like we're off to a good start here. So we have a little, like an alchemy bench, which I was going to put some potions on and some powders and like a mortar and pestle. In fact, I'm probably going to move this mortar and pestle over there. This here would be his, his desk, his study area. I was going to put some kind of cool, like, formula on the board there. Potion storage cabinet, Dyson, you know exactly how I think. Supposed to keep your apprentice under the stairs, right? Like either like Guillermo or Harry Potter style, right? Or Guillermo. Alex, actually, this question gets asked a lot. Trust me, a lot. So a lot of people ask us if we have plans to branch into any other aesthetics or themes. The short answer is yes, but the long answer is not until we leave early access. We have promises that we've made to our Kickstarter community, the people who funded Dungeon Alchemist and got it to the point where it is today. Like, we wouldn't exist without all the amazing outpour of support we got during our Kickstarter campaign, right? So, we have all of our stretch goals and promises to our Kickstarter community, which are the priority, our roadmap, if you will. And once we deliver on all of those stretch goals and leave early access, the devs have committed to offering optional expansion packs that would be paid expansions, and think of them like old school video games where instead of season passes and stuff that are bloated with like microtransactions. We're not going to do that. It'll be a single pack that includes a theme. So let's say it's cyberpunk. You'd probably get like 10 to 20 environmental biomes, probably 20 to 40 room types, couple thousand objects, and a bunch of effects and stuff, and they'd all work within Dungeon Alchemist. So the expansion would just add all that content into DA. They'll be optional, but something if you want, say, sci-fi or modern or Western, those things might be on the table later. And ultimately, there's no ETA on that because each stretch goal takes anywhere from, 4 to 7 months to deliver. And I mean, optimistically, we're delivering on Magic on the 12th. So we have 5 more after that. I mean, you're looking at a minimum of maybe 2 years, maximum 3-ish, 3.5 before we get to that point. So I would just say optimistically, if you're wanting that kind of stuff now, your best bet is to use the assets on the workshop or to import your own assets. The asset importer and the workshop asset browser is a phenomenal tool that allows you to, quickly add objects to your object pool that can change the aesthetic of DA quite quickly. I mean, as you can see here, there's like a first aid kit. There's Fallout maps, there's sci-fi maps, there's cultural maps of all kinds, there's anime-themed maps, all made possible because of assets shared on the workshop. So there is like probably several hundred sci-fi, I would say close to 500 sci-fi assets. Just that, Now, keep in mind, if you have any ability to, say, sculpt or do any 3D modeling, or if you can source 3D models online, maybe you know someone who can make them, or you commission someone, or you supported a Humble Bundle or something and got a bunch of models, you also can go to the asset importer. Hold on, let me save this first. And we'll open the asset importer, and in here you can import custom 3D models. So like here in this case, I've imported a bunch of neat like little palisade models to kind of flush out and add more options to the barricades available on DA. Also shared this rounded roof, some doors. These doors are nice because they're standalone. So you can actually use them independently and they don't need to fit into like a wall, and they rotate on their hinge. So, I mean, it's really nice to use an object option to fill the void. So Alex, just to give you an idea, if you look on the workshop here, I'm just going to type sci-fi as an example. I mean, here is like an example of a sci-fi room. There's a few Fallout maps. There was one that was like a ship. Where is it? I've seen a few. Anyway, here is the ISS Endeavor. So essentially, like, people have taken what's available in DA and gotten creative with it and made, some neat. Definitely watch your language on the streams if we can, because we try to keep it family friendly. For everyone out there. We may have, children watching and whatnot, but I do understand your excitement. So using the workshop, either to download assets that have been shared or to import your assets custom, you have a lot of power, to create really whatever you want within Dungeon Alchemist. And this functionality has been available for months. This has been in Dungeon Alchemist, for a while. Anyway, take a look at it, and definitely. No worries, I understand. It is easy to get really excited about something like that. So, and that's why I let you off with a minor warning. No stress. Like this spiral staircase, this second floor here, this little outcropping, that's all stuff I downloaded from the workshop to really flush out this build. You know what I mean? That looks so cool. Anyway, all right, back to building. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there, but I definitely love sharing information, think of these streams like an AMA. If you have any questions during the stream regarding what we're doing, how to do something, maybe you're in the middle of a build and struggling with something, or can't figure out how to export properly, or your maps aren't working in your VTT or printing correctly, any of these questions, feel free to ask. I'm here for that. That's what these streams are for, to guide you and teach you and help you learn more about Dungeon Alchemist. Gosh, I'm really loving this. Okay, so let's put some more shelves. I want shelves near this with like potions or like, yeah, cupboards or something. So we'll go to furniture and let's look at cupboards. Man, I wish we had the apothecary stuff. I'm thinking I could put like one of these bookcases here. That'll fit really close to the wall. You know, given some time, I'm sure people will. I mean, look at these beautiful rounded floors and stairs and stuff that Swedish Cook made. Give him some time, he probably will. That being said, I know that there are some rounded bookcases and stairs in the updates objects palette. So that'll be a nice little addition as well. Right? There's so many new potions, it's insane. That just jumped. I like that. Oof. I feel like it's sunk in too far on that side. Goodness. Look at that. It's like... It's old school collision fight. It's fine. I'm not gonna argue with it. You know what I could do, though? Just grab one of the double shelves. Give myself the headache. Something like that. Now they're perfectly aligned and I don't need to do anything. Save. Now let's start filling this space up here. Flex in some things. I also want one of these rotating bookshelves. That would be good under here. It's huge though. Put it like that. Maybe just next to this. Or here. A lot of times the devs will make objects a little bit larger than they need to be so they look better in the top-down export, if that makes any sense, right? Hey, Kinba, welcome. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Asphaltia says, I tried to put some objects in a house, but when I let it go, I cannot select it anymore because it only takes the house object with the mouse. So, first off, I don't know which house object you're talking about. It can make a lot of difference. Was it something you downloaded from the workshop? Is it a stock asset from DA like the shed or something? Um, if you can give me a little bit more information, I can try and help a bit. But yeah, every object has kind of invisible little barriers called colliders, and some of them are bigger than others. And the bigger the collider is, it usually overrides smaller objects in the vicinity. So it's best to get your object in the place you want it exactly right the first time. One thing you can do is if you lose a grip on an object, you can also Control Z to undo to a point where you can grab it again. So you step back a couple times to where the object was grabbable and then move it back into place. But usually when I'm doing stuff like that, the house is an asset. So did you get it from the workshop? Is it a stock asset? You're still not answering my question. That's about half of the answer. Is it something you got from the workshop? War Druid, thank you for that follow, by the way. I didn't see that. Appreciate that. Comes from the Steam Workshop. So remember, Asphaltia, anything you download from the Steam Workshop was user configured, meaning someone in our community put the time and effort to either create it or source the model online and then configure it for DA using the asset importer. Sometimes they may quickly just throw a simple collider on it and call it a day. The collider could be a solid box and there's no way to grab inside of it. They could have gone through and made every wall an individual collider. Unfortunately, there's really no way to know unless you actually imported the model. So at this point, unfortunately, I might recommend using a different house. Maybe share a screenshot if you want to open a question thread on the Discord. We can take a look at it and see. Are you in like just top down while you're building, or do you get into like 3D angles like this where you can really kind of get under things? Because if you're at different angles, it might be better. Because like here, I can grab this paper or this little, see, I can't grab the pen thing because the desk is overriding it at almost every angle. Isn't that interesting? But that's the exact same problem you're having because the collider of this desk is larger than this and it overrides it. The best advice I can give in those scenarios is just to make sure that you take time to properly set the object the first time. So either try a different house, because what it sounds like... Here, let me show you what I mean by colliders. So, Asphaltia, every single asset you put in DA, or use in DA, has invisible walls on them called colliders. So if you look at, like, this here, the spike, it actually is a big square around it. It's not actually the size of the spike. It takes up a lot more space than the spike. Let me show you this one. This one's just a big box because it was easier just to do a large box. But in DA, all of that square is space this object takes up. So it's way larger than the actual object itself. That box is the actual object size in DA. So that's why you're having this issue. A lot of objects in DA, especially ones that are shared on the workshop, the colliders are just simple boxes or circles. people may not have taken time to set the colliders to be perfect matches to what you're doing. So essentially, you want to be careful, in the building you select. Try a few different houses. Maybe one will work better than the other. And then make sure you get the object in the right place the first time, because once you've gotten it in there, you won't be able to move it. Especially if there's a box collider like this, because it's grabbing the box every time on the outside. It thinks that's what you're trying to grab, is the house itself. Does that make sense? So even if I had 100 tiny objects within this box around it, under it and stuff, it would think I'm trying to grab the palisade itself. Hey, Herzog, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hey, Swedish Cook. I was doing my best to explain colliders just now. I hope I didn't butcher it. So that's about the same with like any video game. There's like invisible walls and stuff that you can bump into. That's a collider from an object or part of the environment that you're hitting, if that makes any sense. Yep, it is object personal space. It's bubble. You know what I mean? Think of it as like an object's personal space bubble. Oof. I made a mistake of putting that on top of the desk again. I love adding a few books into the rolling thing. It just always looks really cool. Down there. Put that book up there. Oh my gosh, that thing is massive. I just wanted a little tiny paperweight dice. Maybe I could put a Necronomicon over here. Just put one on the desk. And how's that look? And then I can just scale this up the littlest bit. I'm trying to think of what I could put behind this. I guess I could just turn it like this so it's more seamed. Looks pretty good, actually. I like it. Unfortunately, Herzog, I don't have the answer to that question. It is a good question. I think part of I mean, even our devs are based in a country that uses the metric system, but like D&D, for instance, still uses imperial, so a lot of people stick with that, even though they may, you know what I mean? So I think that was kind of the default option. Now, that being said, I'm sure with time, things like that will be added. It's more a matter of just waiting. Remember, we are in early access, so a lot of things that would feel like standard or like a normal feature just aren't there yet. You know what I mean? Sad I can't use the rounded bookcases from the next update, but it's fine. This will work. I think of like a little small shelf to put in there, because I know there's like hard to explain. A little vertical bookshelf or something. Like these. Bummer. I don't really like the fit. Maybe a neat little display case with something in it could be cool. That, or I could put it in between the two bookshelves, so it's not like that weird gap. I always get really particular about these details that no one in my table will ever notice or care about. I say this all the time on stream, and I'm a victim of it myself, but we as DMs are cursed to fixate on the minutia, the tiny details, the little details of our maps that, we spend hours, fine-tuning little things and potential interactivities and things that your players most likely will just skim over or not notice or care about. It's a blessing and a curse. Alex gets it. But I also try to remind people all the time of this when you're building a map. Remember to not always sweat the little things, because a lot of times your players may not even notice or care. Yeah, exactly, Dyson. I can't count how many times I spent like 10, 20 hours on a map only for someone to... It takes less than a half an encounter or something to breeze through. And it's like, oh my goodness. Whereas a map I spent no time on, they spend 7 hours in combat on. Or exploring or trying to get through the door, Y'all have been there before, admit it. Oh my gosh, right? You built an amazing map and then they never see it? Rip. Dyson, I feel your pain. I want to put something here, but I don't know what. Gotta think on it for a minute. I could put like a suit of armor? Like living armor or something? Because I put a couple of those defending the doorway. Here is the map to the fabled realm of Goyakta. You're gonna go there whether you like it or not. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get into like a few little knickknacks to put on the shelves. I like having these little storage pots and things like that, because that could be like his little, you know, mixes and stuff for his various potions and whatnot. Remember, when you can, try and get the stuff near the edge of the shelf like that. Because then when you export in top down, the 3D export will catch some of that. And so you'll actually get some use of it. I do need cheese, but I mean, the first floor is probably ideal for that. Oh no, Herzog. Pretty sure there is cheese, actually. Cheese. Cheese. We got cheese, yo. Not enough. You tell me how to live my life. This guy. Wish we could customize the labels on these. It would be number 1. Are you saying that I'm the reason there's no more cheese in the maps? Listen, I'm not saying you're the reason, but there is a causation between your arrival and the decrease in cheese maps. I mean, one of my first decrees was to get rid of cheese shenanigans, so I'm just kidding. Don't you know I'm the cheese baron? Oh yeah, I had to end that right away. No one needs the cheesy puns. Just kidding. Hmm. What other things can I add in here? Ooh, you know what I really like under here in the butcher shop? Is like there is like this little package. Oh, love that. Like a wrapped type thing. I like that better. See them there. Oh, too much. But see, I've spent like 15 minutes just decorating this like little table. Like, why? Because it's fun. I like it. I think it's looking pretty good. Okay. A little bit of gold for transmutation purposes. Right? Gosh, that inkwell is ridiculously huge. Alright. Is chat frozen right now? I want to make sure it's working. Refreshing chat. Chat's not working. No. Quiet, you. I like that. I like that. Good. Shrink it down. I put one right there. So we have scale, different, stuff to mix, different mixtures and components. Probably gonna put some more stuff over here. This wasn't taller than the room. I'd put that one there. So I could put that one there. Actually, looks pretty good. Let's see. Tea. Good idea. The tea bags always fit in really good with this stuff, don't they? They just look like little mixtures. Pop like this. Put another one of these. Let's get some color. This is the salt, so makes sense. Got a collider there that it's sinking through. I really like these purple pouches too. I think they look good mixed into pretty much any environment. They can be changed, like the color can be changed on them too. They're like a perfect mix. Put a little chest down in the bottom here. We'll shrink one down and tuck it in there. These ones look really good on a shelf. Like a little lockbox. I don't know why, but I really enjoy putting those shelves. Personal preference, I guess. Okay, so we've got a good chunk of this area already decorated today. Hey Chapman, how you doing? Welcome. Trying to think of what else we could put over here. I want to put something in the display case. Obviously, this is like a potion mixing and study. So I just kind of want like as much stuff as I can get there that is like relevant. Got some books over here. We got other books to read, like a library space. Probably could put a couple more things on this desk and then something in the display case. Maybe some paintings and some lighting. Definitely need some lamps. Alright. So the only thing that won't come out on the second floor on its own is this. Which I wish I could lock it to the wall. But unfortunately. Bummer. Right, Twitchy? A mug could be a good one to add. So, because I disabled collisions on this and moved it up, everything on this is all stuck to this piece. I made a mistake. What I really should have done, basically attached it to this wall and brought it up, but the problem is no matter what I do, it's not going to be... Here's an example. So it's like got a shelf, but it's like to the side. I guess I could have each of them with a shelf, but they'll be like crunched through the sides of this. It just won't look right. It's okay. My plan was to have everything attached to the floor below it so it moved as one piece, but I can move that still. It's not that the end of the world. Still really want something under there. I just don't know what. Like right under here. Oh. Tube of something. A nice little addition. I really enjoy these mortar and pestles with pigment on them too. You just can't even see it. That's part of the problem. Be awesome if it just connect to the next floor. Like, it just doesn't even think it's there. Hey Chapman, welcome to the stream. It is an object I located on the Steam Workshop. It was shared by one of our community members named Swedish Cook, who is incredibly talented at making 3D models, and they're quite good. So if you go to the workshop here and you hit Browse Assets, that circular floor is right there on the very first thing. If you go to Browse Collections, the person who created these actually made a collection of all their rounded assets, so you can download them as a collection as a whole. Thank you, Seisu, for sharing that collection. Oh. Hey, Aconite, how you doing, bud? But yeah, everything you see in the stream right now is something you can download or build. I'm not doing anything that none of you have access to. So this is all stuff from the workshop or stock in DA at this time. Let us see here. Trying to decide what to put in here. I guess I could put like a cool looking potion or something, or a magical looking item. Put an Eliza doll in there. I could just put this like sword in it. Hey Mondu, how you doing, buddy? What's new with Mondu? Hey, Dimension Door Games, thank you for the follow. I didn't notice when you followed a bit ago. Appreciate that. So looking at this, the second floor is getting all sorts of treatment, looking really good. Let's see what I can put under that. Magical harp. Ooh, how about a mirror? Well, I got one stool here. There's another one. So if I had, say, taken this wall and moved it down here, then I could do stuff like this and attach the mirrors to the wall because it's on the ground level, and then I could move it up, and then it would stay attached. See? Like, that's how I should be doing it. It's stupid that I have to do this. But now they're attached, and it's like a solid piece. Oh no! Mondu, I'm sorry that I've cursed you. Little ottoman for reading, is that comfy enough? See, what I can always do is throw a cushion on any pillow, right? Mondu, what I always like to say in those instances is thank goodness for cantrips that basically need nothing to cast. Like, I always have a cantrip that is like vocal only or something that it can be basically grabbed from the environment and used as the like components. I always try to have at least one like bare cantrip that is like my messed up cantrip. You know what I mean? Like, I need this because I have no weapons cantrip. It's weird. Same oil lamp? Why does that one sit so high? That is weird. It is Mage Tower, Wizard Tower, interchangeable. Can I ask why this one is over the top? Well, either way. Pretty cool though. Oh, I'm kind of triggering it. So a lot of objects will snap to walls, freestanding or otherwise, you know, like paintings and stuff, but because it's on the second floor, it won't snap to it when it's raised up. So I'm tricking it at the moment, if that makes any sense. So you gotta have collisions on. Weird that there's no middle point. And then you gotta turn collisions off to get it to snap up nice and neat here. It's like I'm really manipulating DA's possibilities here to make this work. By the way, objects that cannot be resized, if they can snap to a wall, then you can resize the wall and oversize them. So technically you can oversize paintings and things like that. That looks, I'm not gonna lie, that looks really clean. Might delete that one. All the rest are well placed, though. But you want your stairwell well lit. Thinking I might put a candle or something over here, or like a lamp. Just something that's like sitting on top of the bookshelf. You know, like, okay, so when I think of a library, you want like a little lamp you can take with you, not necessarily a candle. I guess back in the day, a candlestick or something would be all you had, really. But I think like an oil lamp or something that you can not have an open flame would be the ideal way to work in a space like this. But anyway, don't necessarily need it. There's enough light. So essentially the only thing that isn't snapped to it is this, which is a bummer. But, I mean, if you look at that, that's really nice. A single piece moves all of that. It's really cool. I need to find like a cool diagram to put on this board. Something that's like, looks like alchemy symbols or a cool like magic circle or something. Yeah, I gotta just find something, you know, and then I'll do it. But for now, I think this is really bothering me, this shelf. But the only way this is gonna work, because it's in a center position, there is no shelf. Watch. Like, even if I have collisions on and pick a shelf, that's the closest I'll get. Is something like that, near the edge. And it'll be overlapped by that bookcase or whatever. Houston beer, yeah, you can. So every light in DA, if you click on the light, you can click on this little bulb there and click it and then adjust the brightness, right? And the color. So when you adjust the brightness, I'm pretty sure that adjusts the output of the radius as well, how far it goes. I wish it showed a number to give you an indication, but so basically what you would do, Houston, is adjust the light of one of the lights. Let's say you wanted all the lights on this floor or in the area to be red and to have a very dim output, right? So you set the output you want them at, set a single light to that setting, and instead of having to go through all of them and adjust them manually, just hit Control C, or you can go to the Edit panel and hit Copy Selected Object Properties, or Command C if you're on Mac. And then you hit Control V, right? And then you just drag across the map, and it'll change all the maps or the lights you dragged over to red. Notice they're all red now. If I Control Z, it undoes it. Ooh, that's a good idea, Watchtower. That's a really good idea. So, our next update is getting some visual feedback on, like, numbers for raising an object up and down or raising a building. Remember, we are in early access, so little things like visual feedback of numbers and things like that will get added with time. But it is a good idea, I think, to show the radius of how far it's outputting on the light. Our next update, Fun with Objects, will likely tackle that. In fact, let me just grab my notebook and write that down. So there's a mental note of it as well that I can mention to the devs. Okay, I have a note of that at least. So we'll try that. Okay, so what we'll do, our friend over here suggested that I try snapping that shelf. Work on that one. Was hoping to snap it to the invisible plane. It will snap to that one, though. Brilliant. So we just move this up to this floor, right there. Watch this. Move everything on these shelves over to these shelves. Then I'm going to blow your minds. Watchtower, thank you for the suggestion, my friend. It was a good fix. Oops. So these green guys, these green planes, you can insert a blank image into them. And what that just did for us. Move it. So you insert a blank PNG. Now it's an invisible wall where we hung the stuff up. Let's grab a chair to tuck into there because I changed that earlier and forgot to change it back. And I think we had like a neat little ottoman over here. You know what I'm thinking? Actually, let's put regular chairs here like this one to match. And then I can use the ottoman to put like a nice little chase lounge or something, right? Don't we have like some neat little furnitures that's like a chase lounge or something? Like that. Little reading spot underneath there. Put a book on it. Can't even really see it. Like, if you can't see it, what's the purpose? You can kind of tell there's something there. It's nice. Kind of like hard to see, but it's also pretty cool. Put a pipe on it. Or a hookah nearby. What do you think? Hookah or a pipe? Which one? Like there's some little smoking pipes here. Like these little guys, but they're really hard to see. But if you put a hookah by it, it looks kind of cool. Little lounge for reading. Contemplating the universe and his place in it. No. These, technically, honestly, hookahs don't burn like this. They shouldn't have a fire. And I don't like when you turn off the fire doesn't go out. But anyway, hookahs are coal. You heat the coals burn, and then it turns into just like a red coal. What I'm thinking is a little end table right under this. Right? Hookah on the end table. Drink it down. Disable the fire on the hookah. Wait a second. Wasn't there fire on it earlier? I'm so confused. Oh, you know what I turned out earlier? I was turning off this. Interesting. But yeah, it would be cool if we could turn off the flame on the hookah. We could change the color, though. Make it like a turquoise-ish. Teal kind of color. I like that. Okay, let's save, because I haven't saved in a while. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Okay. That, or instead of a chase lounge, I could do like some pillows. Like a big pillow. You know? Something under there, like a big, just sitting like this. You kind of see it hanging out the side. Anyway. So the color slider you see on the objects available, this isn't really a color changer more than it is a hue changer. Realistically, all it does is shift the hue on the object and give you more options related to that. We realize it's limited. We understand that. But there was a lot of requests for something as people waited for an update that would address it. Most likely, our next update, Fun with Objects, will address this issue. Many Fun with Objects is essentially planned to address objects in general, making them more functional, what you can and can't do with them, rotating them on all axes, being able to create and save grouping of objects and save and copy them between one space on a map to another or between map to map, etc. More color options, you know, niceness of an object, so like make it look really grungy or make it fancy, things like that. So if anything, that will be addressed in the Fun with Objects update, which is, you know, most likely our next update. Yep. How are you, by the way? I feel like I haven't caught you live in a little bit, and I'm sorry about that. Hope you're well. Okay. What is sticking out the back desk? The back. No. It's on the... No! No! Chair, get out of the way. Move, chair, get out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna save. Oh! Ah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's awesome. Yeah, tell her thank you. And for everything, and I appreciate her, all she's done, you know, since we launched, and both of you, for that matter. But yeah, I very much appreciate it. Oh my, the shirts look great. They look good. Oh, autosave is going to be great. And, I made sure that the autosave had a 1 minute increment. Originally, it was only going to be 5 minute, 10 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, and 1 hour. And I requested the devs add a 1 minute because I feel like a lot of work can get lost in 60 seconds, especially if you're in a grind, like if you're really in the flow. Now, with autosave, the key to making it function is you need to save the map once. So make a save, give it a name, then the autosave, as long as it's enabled, will create an autosave and back it up right next to it on the interval you have it set to. Now, if we did this correctly, everything in this... Oh, perfect. It looks so good. I love that it moves as one piece. That just makes me really happy. For sure. Well, if you have a mental idea of what you're going to do, or a drawing, or a written plan, you can get a lot done. Or if you've practiced the map a few times. Like me, what I'll do before I film, I'll practice building something a few times to kind of get an idea of how I want to film it, like the flow. And I won't record any of the practices, and then I do like dry runs. And then I'll do a final run where I do the whole build in a single thing and try and get it in one cut. I don't like lots of cuts, personally. I try to avoid them. So I personally will attempt to, in as little of, try to get as much filming in a single cut as possible. If I can do that, then I'll take that and import it into my video editor and then, trim it. Make sure, usually like a little bit at the beginning and end can be trimmed. It can be sped up or slowed down depending on the context of the video. The other thing too is I always pre-write my scripts for my videos. Oh my gosh, y'all don't even know how many outtakes I have for each. Just like a 30-second teaser has probably 10 to 20 outtakes sometimes. One thing though, Aconite, like the shovel, if you just type that in, will find the bread pans now. Because people use them as shovels so much that they've been added. So, I actually requested that because I was like the first person to start using these as shovels in my mines because I liked how this was vertical. And you could take like the mole mounds, right, and put it there like that, and then it just looked like a shovel in some dirt. But yeah, I get you. I know what you mean. Oh, right. What a hammam is? I think it's just a term for like a type of room in that culture. So does this second floor look pretty good? This space kind of feels dead. I was thinking of putting maybe another chalkboard and a painting or something. A second chalkboard would be a good idea, though. Maybe even a bigger one. Just like a wall hanging chalkboard. Okay, so where is the chalkboard? Is it in the library? See, we don't have a wall hanging one yet. Oh, the wall hanging one is in the magic update. There is some new ones for sure. Could do that. Just kind of want to fill this out with random doodads and stuff, extras. We've already got a couple tea bags in the area, but I'll add another one. So down here we got his workbench, right? And in the workbench we've got weights, different, dyes, different mixtures and components. We've got a hourglass, different storages and stuff like that. It's all mixed throughout. But I do like the idea of putting some things on top of the bookshelves. Not all of them, but like a couple of them, so it feels like filled out. You know what I mean? I always think of a wizard's space isn't always necessarily tidy. It's well used. Does that make sense? So the next floor is going to be the bedroom, which I'm going to put more personal effects in. So here is going to be mostly the study, magical curiosities, maybe a couple magic items, things he's working on, projects, the like. Ooh, I need a cover for that. Don't we have like a wood canopy that is, it's like a wood, I don't even know what to call it. Like this could work. I just want to cover this. I don't necessarily want a tent. I just want to cover it, Yeah, we could use the tent canopy. It could work, I guess. Something like that. But then it covers the wood so good you can't even see it. Darn. Yeah, I'll just leave it exposed. I'd rather be able to see it. Oh no! All my vines disappeared when I was doing the walls. It's okay, though. Oh, you know what? I know what you're talking about. They're like an eave or something? Like eaves? I know what it is. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like these. Ah, overhang. These are perfect. That's what I was looking for. Thank you, Mondu. You knew. You knew what Mac was after. But then something like this is nice because it adds to the structure, right? What I'll do is just have the littlest bit of wood. That looks really good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so I feel like we got the second floor mostly done. The only thing I want to add, so we have new wall blackboards that'll hang onto a wall. That's one thing I was considering putting here. I could do one of these eaves too, like instead. An overhang like that, so it looks like it's just part of the structure. Where did he snap to? Where? Interesting. Can't figure out where to snap those. Oh well. Oh, that's pretty cool. Thank you, Centimar. I appreciate that. I'll consider that one. I was kind of more wanting something that looked kind of more like an alchemical equation, you know, like chalk, like just white chalk where it was drawn on and scribbled, and like maybe like a Beautiful Mind looking like a crazy board with like, you know, lines drawn to different points and things like that, you know, maybe not the string board, but close. But yeah, I like that idea. That's a good concept. What I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to put another blackboard over here for now as a placeholder. I'll make it big, right? Not taller than the room, but big. Oh, that looks so good. And it matches the door, too. I love that. And I'm going to just pull it out a little bit. So it like implies it's to cover it, but at the same time, you can still see the wood, you can see the axe. Like the handle of the axe. That's great. I like that. What do y'all think? You know what we could do? Don't we have, like, actual drains? Weird. When it's invisible, on the backside of it, you can see through it. Something like that. Like a real drain with a bucket. So the pipes snap, which is part of the problem, you know? If you disable collisions, it'll help, but it's only going to fix about half the issue. Do we have a shower head? See, we don't. Yeah, you'd have to make a custom object that looks like a shower head that just, you know. Yeah, I wonder if there's one on the workshop. Did you check? You know, you probably should ask Asmodeus, or, you know, I don't really like to say, hey, ask someone. There is a shower here by Norman Dye, but that's a fancy looking one. Okay, so we've got most of the second floor decorated. We have got the exterior nice and decorated. Looks really good. I'm thinking I'm going to put a shed in here, though. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put a shed out here. Just for next time. Ugh. I don't like it when collisions are on. It does that. Let's see here. Ooh, we could put one of these geodes in his study. That'd be a good addition. Couple little pavers to get to the outhouse. Do they have any that look antique or fancy? Like even one that might match the cool like greenhouse metal would be neat. Or like a copper shower head or something. So I'll leave the shed like this for next time. So you wanted it to match this metal pipe, if possible. So kind of like a gothic drain. Or like yeah, something like that. This thing won't snap to anything. That's weird. Maybe 2 pieces of walls? Do a 3-piece. See what happens. Like weird that I can't get this to snap. Okay. It snaps to it, but it doesn't. Weird. Thank you, Aconite. Sorry, man, I'm just kind of playing with concepts at the moment, trying to see what I can come up with. But yeah, so the whole point of this is designed to be a respite, like a private getaway for the wizard. This is his home away from home. He comes out here and does, work, study, gets away from, the hustle and bustle of the city, and essentially lives his life in private here. He can have guests, he or she can host, but for the most part, it is a very private respite. Yeah, I was thinking on, somewhere I would add that. That or they just use a spell to get here. But, I've designed it to be kind of modular. Each floor can be pulled apart, And everything on the lower floor is also stacked on its floor, so you can move it as a single piece. That way you can pull it apart, do a save as floor 1, save as floor 2, save as floor 3. This floor here, we're going to be moving on. Hey, Email, how you doing, buddy? Welcome back. Oh, you know what? I unsubbed from assets. So let's show you what I was going to use. So there's this asset collection right here with round objects in it. I'm just going to download the whole collection. It's only 60 megabytes. So there's like, you could do a overhang or windows. I was thinking on the 3rd floor I might do like a window or a balcony or something, but I also kind of like it sealed. So I think of it as like he feels safe here, and he's put a lot of redundancy and whatnot into making sure that this place is safe. Oh, by the way, in the last 10-20 minutes, we've had a couple likes and follows. So Kyle Ritson, Mama Stacy, thank you for the likes, and Italian Wise Dude, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. No, what is it sitting on? Yeah, I saw. That was really cool of him. So the top of this staircase has a collider that is causing this to happen. Carl is really good about that type of stuff. He likes to take community feedback and try and implement it as quick as possible when he can. Obviously, it's not always viable to do so. And, you know, I honestly, the community has been asking for that for a while, so I was kind of surprised that it was just all of a sudden something that was viable, but hey, that's awesome. I'm excited he was able to do it. Makes me happy, you know? It's good for the community when stuff like that happens. Now, if he could just do a transparent background instead of trimming, in my opinion, I think that would be the perfect solution because you get the essentially no clip kind of like edge of it can be perfectly seamed with another map and they can overlay on each other like tiles. Does that make sense? Very excited though to see that being added. A no border export is very good. A lot of times it's mostly just a matter of making sure they understand why you want it. You would not believe how much effort and time I put into explaining why features need to be added or should be added, and they're like, why? And then I'll go through and put a whole list of do's and why's you need to add it, and they're like, oh, I see the reason. It's like I'm on a debate team half the time explaining some of these features. All right. Well, whew, we're kind of, cooking, and we're going to be onto the third floor, which is going to be the bedroom. That'll be the next room. This is what we need to try. Pop a token here. This is the real test. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I already like it. It's nice. That pouch needs to be moved. These books probably put over here. These scrolls can stay. Probably going to just shrink these bookshelves down a little bit. The cross beams really kind of chew up a lot of the space. But it makes it so much more realistic. What is that? Oh, that is from that light. It went through the ground. Definitely going to delete that. Ah, no. Okay. Oh, so you play Dead by Daylight, huh? What's up, Wardian? How you doing, buddy? I used to really dig Friday the 13th. For a while, I was into that, but I never really could get into Dead by Daylight. My son really enjoyed it for a while. He played the heck out of it. I'm good, Wardian. I'm good. Just kind of making a multi-floor wizard tower using what's available in DA right now to kind of satiate the masses as they wait for the next update. So we've actually done 2 floors now of this wizard tower. First floor was the kitchen and pantry. Second floor is the study and library. Third floor is going to be the bedroom. Hard to tell, but I think the colliders on this are big. Nope. Well, we're gonna have to play around with this. Okay. That's what I want. How's the podcast room coming, my friend? Let's go down there and see what those crosshatch platforms did when I rotated it. I want to see what it looks like now. Oh, the beams go this way still. Okay. And you need to make that smaller. Those fit. They fit. Everything fits. Okay. The key is to making that. Perfect. Oh, no, before I put them up here, I need to do something else with them. So, duplicating a wall is great, but I can't bring it up until it's ready. Because I need to put the lights on it. I swear. I wish there was a hotkey for collisions. It'd be so nice. Is Vecna pretty fun? Is he OP or is he pretty balanced? I always get concerned with games like that add like someone who is like god tier powerful, you know? But then they usually balance it pretty well. But then people are like, wait, that's not how powerful they are. This Wizard Tower's coming along though. What do you think? We've got 3 floors now. We're up to the 3rd floor. And the exterior's well decorated. Looks pretty good. So 3rd floor is going to be bedroom. That's the plan here. Yep. We will do a 4th floor, which is going to be the observatory. Attic observatory. So essentially the 3rd floor will be bedroom. And then 4th floor will be an observatory with like a telescope. Coming along though. All right, let's save, and then we're going to wrap up because it is now past the hour. Noble Yashu, thank you for the like. Much appreciated. I had a lot of fun hanging out with y'all today. Really do appreciate everyone that watched the stream today. Again, my name is Mac. I am the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. Dungeon Alchemist is what you see in front of you. It's an procedurally generated powered map maker that is available on Steam. Allows you to build maps in a snap, or you can roll up your sleeves and build intricate maps by hand, as we've been doing, like shown. The point of these streams is to help you learn more about Dungeon Alchemist, learn about what it can and can't do, give you tips and tricks and guidance in your map making journey. Every Monday we do Mapmaker Monday. As you roll into different streams, there's different themes. So Saturday is the Dam stream, but this upcoming Saturday is actually a very special stream. We're showcasing more of our next update titled Magic. So it'll be part 2, the second and final reveal stream showcasing the Magic update. The stream Saturday will be Magic in its most final state before we release it on the 12th. So you'll be able to see it in, as fluid and functional state as possible. I've got confirmation that the Witch's Hut and the extra dimensional room should be functioning better for the next stream as well. And a few other things overall should be functioning great. So make sure you tune in to that stream so you can watch and see all the latest and greatest and learn about what's coming in the next update. Yeah. Other than that, we'll see you next time. I give a damn. Mac out, all right? Thank you for being everyone, man. Thank you for being everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I appreciate you very much. We'll see you next time. Mac out. Bye. Bye.